Hello family! So today I am going to talk to you about 5 mistakes people make during their integration. 5 mistakes that when you've watched this video you will know to avoid, and that will really help you on your journey and becoming your happiest self. So what is integration? Well, when we go through a difficult time, a challenging time in our lives, we step into a storm. And when we go through the storm, we're feeling the emotions, we're releasing, we're finding shadow aspects of ourselves, aspects of the inner child that were long buried, long hidden, to keep us safe, to help us survive a very difficult situation, maybe in our childhood, maybe in another time. And then when we step out of the storm, we're not the same person anymore. We've integrated part of ourselves. We've released other parts. So the inner child that was rejected and cast out is taken back into our personality, into our psyche. And the protector, the part of us that sabotaged us in order to keep that inner child safe, is now falling away. And we are a different person. So what mistakes do people make when they come through this time back into their life once they've navigated this, they step back into their life, what mistakes do they make? Number one mistake that they make is that they carry on like normal. They feel like they have to carry on like they were before. They feel like they have to get up, go to work, be in the same routine, do the same things, have the same conversations, eat the same foods, and they throw themselves back into their lives. Keep calm and carry on is one of the sayings that they would say here in the UK. And it doesn't work like that. You're not the same person anymore. So it's not saying don't set your alarm, don't go to work, don't speak to your children. Of course we have to do that. But can you step back from it a little bit and review your life? What do you do that works for you? What do you do that doesn't work for you anymore? Become the witness of your life and start to become aware of the rituals, the habits, the practices that you do. Do they now serve the person that you are becoming, or were they there as part of that protector that was sabotaging your life? Were you clinging to routines, clinging to shoulding all over yourself? Were you doing these things in order to protect that inner child? Well, that inner child is safe because that inner child has been integrated back into you now. You're a different person and you don't need these things. So the first thing that you can do is start to bring some ritual into your life, witness your life and see how you're living right now. Is it serving who you are becoming, or does it serve the person who is falling away, the aspects that are disintegrating? Is it serving that? Because if so, you don't need it anymore. Make time for ritual. So how can you start your day? How can you get ritual into your life that honors the sacred and the divine within you? Is it exercise in the morning? Is it drawing some tarot cards? Is it saying some mantra? Is it journaling? What can you do, especially to start your day? Because we have a limited amount of willpower. What can you do? Okay. And the way we eat as well. Eat some more high vibe foods. You want grounding foods and you want high vibe foods. Personally, after a lot of research and personal experience, we need to be eating lots of fruits and veggies. We need to be eating high vibe foods. And if you want to ground yourself, you don't need meat for that. You can have potatoes and sweet potatoes. You can have rice. You can have all these different starches, really grounding foods, and fresh fruit and fresh vegetables. If you've done your research, you could also try and do a juice fast or a water fast. That will help you detox anything out of your physical body that needs to go and help you raise your vibration. Number 2, the second mistake that people can make during integration, put a time scale on it. Some people think, okay, I'll integrate this weekend, Or, okay, I've got a holiday coming up, so I'm going to delay my integration, carry on like normal until then, and then I will integrate during that 7-day holiday. It doesn't work like that. We need to start integrating straight away, because whether we like it or not, the integration is happening. If you stay in old, outdated habits, old, outdated dynamics within relationships, that will be integrated back into you, and it'll be something that you need to shed at a later date. So if you can't do it now, you've got a week crammed full of meetings, you're starting a new job, your children have got, I don't know, a holiday coming up that you need to honor, and you can't, then it's okay. The opportunity will come up again. But if you haven't got anything major going on in your life, then don't put a time scale on it. Just allow it to flow. I see it as a journey. This integration isn't a short period of time. It's going to go on and on and on and on and on. So just relax into it. It may take a day, it may take a week, it may take a month of that initial deep part of the integration. That may take that amount of time. But we don't know in advance how long it's going to take. So don't put a time scale on it. Accept, flow, and allow the universe to take you in whatever direction you need to be going in whichever time you need to be going there. Number 3, the third mistake that people make when integrating is they appease their family and friends by staying in the old, outdated dynamics. This is a daunting one. You are starting to become somebody different. If you stay in these old, outdated dynamics of these relationships, that inner child isn't going to be fully integrated. And that protector isn't going to fully fall away, because the blame or the shame or the expectations will still be on you. So how can we keep our relationships that have these structures while being true to ourselves? Boundaries. You need to put up some boundaries. Now, boundaries aren't necessarily a permanent thing. They are something that you put in place to allow you the safety and the spaciousness to integrate your inner child and allow the protector to fall away. And then the boundaries, when you're stronger, can start to come away as well. It's like having training wheels when you're learning to ride a bike, or using a balance bike before you have pedals. It's just part of the process. So put up boundaries. Maybe there's a family weekly, monthly gathering that you know you're going to be expected to play a role in. Maybe just cancel for the next 1 or 2 so that you don't have to do that. Maybe there's a particular family member who has certain expectations of you. It's maybe having a difficult discussion with them, or maybe it's about changing the way you react around them. Let's say they tell a joke that's kind of racist, and you would normally laugh to appease them. Maybe don't laugh this time. If that doesn't resonate with you, then why would you do that to yourself? And just gently play around with these concepts of breaking up these dynamics within the relationship, and see what works for you. Because remember, you don't really know who you are still while you're integrating. So it's playing with different concepts playfully, gently, with love and flow and acceptance, and just seeing how the dynamics of the relationships change and using those boundaries when you need to. Okay, the 4th mistake that people make is a tricky one: confiding in people who don't get it. So when you confide in people about what you're going through, if you're going through a very spiritual experience, you're raising your vibration, you're ascending, and you have decided to share that with somebody who isn't raising their vibration, who is choosing to stay at a low vibration, they won't get it. And they may give you advice that doesn't really help. They may give you advice that keeps you safe, that keeps you where you were, that keeps you in their safety zone, their comfort zone. your old comfort zone. And that's not going to be very helpful. So if that is the only type of person at the moment you are surrounded by, it's your friend group, your family group, because this is quite new to you, and you have to confide in somebody, maybe you will choose to, but take their advice with a grain of salt. Remember that they are staying in their comfort zone. They want to stay safe. They want everything to be in homeostasis and not change. And you're going up, 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 up. So their advice may not be helpful to you, but sometimes it's just good to talk. Other things that you can do, you can find a women's circle of like-minded women. I run a free women's circle of like-minded women for a very exclusive group. And I find that we can just share. We share how we feel. We open up. We share our experience as they are in the moment. We are heard. And we hear other women's experiences. So we know that we're not alone. We know that there's other people going through the same thing. And it feels like such a relief to share with nobody talking over you or saying, oh yeah, me too. That can happen in day-to-day life. Women's circles, that doesn't happen. It's a sacred space for you to speak your truth. And you can start to build a community. You can start to build a community of like-minded people around you. We have the internet, social media. You can maybe find one in your local town. Find some people who are raising their vibration and people who are choosing to ascend in frequency, so that you can share your experience with them and hear their amazing experiences to inspire you, encourage you, and let you know that you're not alone and that you don't have to stay in your comfort zone to be happy and fulfilled. Okay, the fifth mistake that people make when they are integrating: judging themselves. We expect such perfection from ourselves. We expect ourselves to do it quickly. We expect ourselves to not get it wrong. We expect ourselves to just be perfect all the time. And perfection is an illusion. It's something that's programmed into us at a young age and varies from person to person. So there's no such thing as perfection. That's really important to remember. So witness yourself. Like I said back at the beginning, witness yourself. Witness what you need. Witness what you don't need. What works, what doesn't work. And when you make a mistake, forgive yourself. Accept yourself. Accept that it's part of the journey. Accept that it's part of the flow of what you are experiencing. And let it go. And say, okay, I won't do it that way next time. I'll try a different way. Okay, so they are the 5 mistakes that you now will not make. And I'll recap them one more time. Carrying on as normal. Putting a time scale on it. Appeasing family and friends by staying in outdated dynamics. Confiding in people who don't understand and taking their advice. And judging themselves when they get it wrong. So now, hopefully, you will not make those mistakes. And if you do, accept, forgive, and flow. So I hope that's helpful. If you want any more help, you know where to find me on my Facebook group, or you can comment below. And sending you so much love today.